Well, hello and meowdy, you too! Welcome back to another video. It is like Saphwyn, the silly NochuVTuber, and today we are diving back into some more tier 2. This is gonna be America's secret top tier animal. And if you would like to go pick up my own personalized shaker cup, you can do so at ADVANCEDgg, and you can use code SAPH for a percentage off at checkout. Go check it out. Link will be down below in the description and in the comments. And let's dive on into the video. Alrighty, let's do it. Let's begin. All the Mario Kart music, you know it's gonna be goated when. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Cheetahs are low-tier trash.
Damn.
The fastest land-built.
Damn, okay. So we're starting off the freaking video coming in hot. I get it.
The game has a ton of flaws in its game plan,
It
which you can learn
does.
about in this video here if you like. But enough about cheetahs. What
Okay.
about the second fastest? Do you even know what it is? How does it stack up against its competition? I talk a lot on this channel about how overpowered the animals in the Africa server are. And while that's certainly true, the North America server also has its fair share of builds with ridiculously OP stats, including one little-known build with the second fastest run speed in the entire game. You might expect it to be a type of big cat,
It looks like
maybe
a
a
deer.
close relative of the cheetah, like the mountain
I don't know if that's what it was,
or perhaps
though.
a type of cervid, like a deer or elk.
Oh, it isn't
But
then.
no, it's actually the smallest member of the giraffe family, one that most players probably wouldn't expect to be related to the giant that we know and love, the American pronghorn.
The American pronghorn? What? Today I'm learning. Holy moly. I also loved on the map you showed, I think, a regular like Holstein cow and a grizzly bear. Mind you, cows are pretty powerful animals, but it's funny to see them side by side in a comparison list when we're talking about powerful animals. They are powerful though.
The pronghorn may
Okay.
not look like much, but it sports some pretty impressive stats, including the second highest base mobility stat of any
That's
terrestrial
wild.
animal, with only the cheetah having a higher top speed. This makes it faster than every other build in the North America server by a substantial
gosh.
margin. Pumas, bears, and even wolves have essentially zero shot at closing the distance to a pronghorn player. Pronghorns have
So then I'm assuming a pronghorn also has stamina, right? Because that's a bonus of a wolf. A wolf has that longevity factor because it has lots of stamina. So I'm assuming a pronghorn is fast with stamina.
much more endurance
Wombo
than most
combo.
predators, and are able to maintain these high speeds for significant distances.
Yep, there it is.
Not just
There it
short
is.
sprints as most predators do.
Impressive.
Pronghorns also have horns on their head, which can deal decent damage in a pinch, although it's pretty rare they'd actually need to use them for anything other than dueling against each other.
Of
Still,
course.
these sharp, keratinized horns can definitely do some damage. Pronghorns aren't particularly stealthy because of their bright white back end. However, even with how noticeable they are, if you ever see a pronghorn, it's almost certain it sees you first.
But I'm like, why? You don't even have to, at this point, like, technically it's nice to be stealthy. It's nice to blend in and camouflage. But if you're this freaking fast, it don't matter.
Their eyes are incredibly sensitive and can detect movement from 4
Well,
miles
damn.
away.
Okay.
Because of their huge field of view, this makes it borderline impossible to sneak up on a pronghorn,
So they're just OP.
unless your build has some insanely high-level stealth abilities. Pronghorns have one of the lowest HP stats of any North American ungulate. They, of course, share a server with builds like the elk, moose, and buffalo, all with a massive health bar, making them near impossible to bring down solo. Conversely, pronghorns rely entirely on their speed stat to keep them safe, and can't really afford to take any damage at all. For the most part, the pronghorn's general game plan works great. Because they have the ruminant ability, their food is abundant, as they're able to
Yep.
digest grass, shrubs,
I guess that's the thing. They get hit once, like you said, a low health animal. So realistically, they get bit once, hit once, whatever it may be, whoever is attacking it. The bloodlust happens a lot quicker because they don't have the big beefy status as like your bison or your moose or something.
and even cacti if necessary.
Well, damn.
They also are able to
Cacti.
consume plants that are toxic to builds like sheep, cattle, and horses,
Oh,
meaning they don't usually compete for resources with livestock. And
nice.
so as long as
Okay.
they don't get careless, pronghorns are usually able to evade most conflict. So why is the pronghorn so uniquely fast?
He's super
Its
fast.
immense speed stat legitimately feels like overkill,
Oh
and
my
I would argue that
gosh.
in the current meta, it absolutely is. However, the pronghorn has been one of North America's top survivalists for a long time, through several balance patches and expansions. And during the Younger
nice.
Dryas expansion, there were additional, speedier threats that the pronghorn player base had to contend with, namely the American lion and American cheetah.
Okay.
These felid builds were extremely dangerous to a lightweight, evasive style build like the pronghorn.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So once upon a time, he did have these quicker, more agility-ized ambush predators he had to compete with.
The American cheetah, in particular, had a max speed stat roughly equivalent to its African and
That
Asian
makes
counterparts,
sense.
but was also bigger and bulkier than the modern cheetah. And so during that particular ranked season, the pronghorn wisely opted to max out its speed and endurance
Well,
in
good
order
for
to
him.
evade attacks from these American felids. However,
I was about to say good for him, because that's why he's still with us.
these felids were banned with the launch of the Holocene balance patch, leaving the pronghorn hugely overtuned for its remaining competition.
Well,
Still, this didn't mean automatic success for the pronghorn. In fact, their player count was dwindling up until very recently. The reason for this is that pronghorns are extremely poor vertical jumpers, and so they're heavily impeded by any sort of barrier. They require
Okay.
open terrain with good visibility in order to remain competitively viable. So
speaking of jumpers, you guys ever watch a video of a mountain goat? And I mean like a mountain goat on like the top of a mountain trying to come down or go up a mountain. You guys ever look at those videos? They make me so nervous, but I know that's what the goat is built for, but they make me so freaking nervous, bro.
players started constructing barriers made of sharp metal, things got really dangerous really fast for the pronghorn.
Okay.
Most of the herbivore builds in the North American
Yeah.
meta can easily clear the vertical of an average barbed wire fence, but pronghorn players usually opt to crawl under barriers if possible. Because of the pronghorn's low HP
gosh.
stat, even relatively mild chip damage from barbed wire fences can deal lethal damage to a pronghorn. This issue was really frustrating to deal with as a pronghorn main, and so most of them just opted to play characters with better vertical mobility. But eventually, the human player base realized how unfair this tech was, and opted to self-impose a ban on the tech in important areas.
Nice.
As a result, the pronghorn player base has recovered massively and is no longer at risk of collapsing.
I'm happy.
So I don't know if I can quite give them an S-tier rank, since they're highly vulnerable to disruption if any sort of major balance patch imposes a lot of barriers into their territory. In addition to the obvious things like human structures, like roads and fences. Any increase in woodland biomes would also severely hamper their ability to detect predators or run for long distances to escape. This is the main reason why pronghorns, despite still being faster than any of their potential competition, have failed to make an impact in biomes with less open spaces.
Well, I
such
mean,
as the-
imagine running full space in a freaking forest. Like, you're running full speed in a forest with, I don't know, lots of sticks and twigs and broken shenanigans on the ground. Yeah, imagine trying to do that. I don't blame him for not breaking through into the forest. I do not blame him.
woodland tundra biome of the backcountry of Canada, or the jungles of Central America.
Oh my god, Canada mentioned. Ah ha ha. No, I'm kidding. I'm
Or
sorry.
stealth-based builds like the puma and jaguar
Hi,
have
Puma.
more of an advantage. Now, to be fair, having an unfavorable matchup versus a jaguar isn't saying much.
God.
They are the undisputed top-tier predator throughout the entirety of the Central and South American
Yeah.
jungle biome. But it would be impressive to see them diversify their playstyle a bit to see if they could be more competitive in less open terrain,
It would
as
be
their other
cool.
giraffoid ancestors used to be. Especially since the pronghorn's other main weakness is made worse by the fact that they spend time in completely open spaces. That weakness being their vulnerability
course.
to aerial attacks. With no tree cover, pronghorns have nowhere to hide from the one predator that actually is able to keep up
Oh
with them,
no.
the golden eagle.
Oh,
They may be the second
God.
fastest land
God damn. Okay, you got a golden eagle as a hit list? GG's. Especially when you want to wait out in the open? Yeah.
build in the game. But if you include
Wow.
flying builds, most birds beat this speed pretty easily,
Yup.
especially predatory birds. Still, it's hard not to respect a build that managed to adapt so effectively that its strategy hard countered the game plan of their main opponents,
It is
driving
cool.
them to complete and total irrelevancy. Then again, is it really that big a flex that a variant of the cheetah build ended up not being viable in the current meta? I wouldn't be that surprised if, given enough time, the African antelope mains also started speccing into higher speed or greater
I
bulk
would
in
be
order to
crazy.
invalidate the African cheetah's only favorable matchup.
Bro,
Anyways,
no, we can't. No, hold on. We can't do that. Then our poor cheetah is going to be lost. Our cheetah only has so much going for it. And by so much, I mean it's a speedy boy. We gotta let him prosper, man.
All that being said, I'm going to give the pronghorn the rank of A tier.
Yeah, he's speedy.
This video
He's
is brought
deserved
to you
it.
by my next video on rhinos, already up on Nebula.
Rhinos.
Pronghorns are successful despite having some of the smallest horns in the game. They're pretty much the polar opposite of the
That's a
rhinoceros.
big boy.
I've mentioned the rhino in passing several times in recent videos, but I've never made an entire video dedicated to discussing their strategies, strengths, and weaknesses.
Rhinos are pretty OP, and they're tanky.
All about the rhino. It'll hit YouTube in a few months, but the full thing is already released on Nebula. Nebula
nice.
is
So,
a
like,
streaming
pre-releases
service
on
owned and
Nebula.
operated by and for creators like me. And thanks to their support, I can not only do these flashy edits, high-quality stock footage clips, and custom 3D animations, but I'm also now able to be one video ahead, 1 month.
Having a platform for a creator like this is pretty nice.
Engineering and extra
IMO,
credits,
but
uploading their content 1 full video ahead. Not to
nice.
mention high-quality exclusive original.
I guess it's like the equivalent of a Patreon or something, but with more creative support.
That couldn't possibly be captured
Not allowed
with
on
YouTube's
YouTube?
restrictions.
Oh.
Or Real Science is Becoming Human, which uses gorgeous 3D animations to explore the evolution of the human build.
Oh my gosh, we
Best
have so
part
many
is, with my
videos.
link, you'll get a 40% discount on the annual plans, which comes down to as little as $2.50 a month. So if you want to support me and every independent creator on Nebula, use the link down below to get the discount.
I love independent creators. Keep supporting them.
Special thanks to all of my Nebula and Patreon subscribers, and
Thank you,
for watching.
gamers. Well, thank you for the video. What the heck? We're already at the end. Man, that was impactful. I really enjoyed it. I guess. Hold on. Okay. Well, I hope you learned more about the pronghorn. I hope you learned more about any type of animal that was showcased in this video. I hope you enjoyed it, I should say. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, because I know there's not going to be a pronghorn freaking emoji, comment down a deer or moose or elk or caribou. I don't know. I think there's an emoji of that sort. Comment that down. It just shows appreciation. It shows you watched the video. And do go check out my Shaker Cup if you would like to support the channel. If you'd like to get some bling bling, go check it out. Use code SAF at checkout. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Goodbye, gamers. Bye-bye.